Hi, today we're going to talk about support bots. Support bots can be very simple or they can be very complex depending on how the detail you want to get into. And so to start off with, a lot of companies have phone support, chat support, and live chat support, phone SMS support. So there's a lot of great data there that we can pull and put into the bot. But backing up a little bit, the goal of the chatbot for support is to handle all the simple questions and questions that happen repetitively. There's a couple reasons for this. One is customers like to have an answer quickly. Waiting on hold or waiting for someone to be chatting back and forth with you because they're chatting with three other people simultaneously, it doesn't always work very well. It does work really well when you have very particular questions or a customer that really needs that human interaction. So there is a place for live chat and for phone support and everything else. What we want to do here is reduce the number of tickets, all the easy ones, and the medium ones as well, and then have the most complex ones go to a live person. This does two things. Obviously, the customer is more satisfied quickly, and secondly, the customer service agents don't have to answer these stupid questions anymore, and the ones that happen over and over and over 20 times a day, and now can really enjoy their job more, focusing on more technical, harder type questions, or questions where it's a difficult situation and you really need that human touch to satisfy the customer. Um, because as you know, in support, sometimes the best thing to do is just listen. And so humans are really good at that. The first step in building your support bot is gathering all the information you already have from FAQ pages, from databases you have in your CRM to answer questions, from your live chat and support personnel. Gather all that information, and it gets broken down to a simple question and a sentence answer to a simple question and a long answer. Some of those long answers get broken up into multiple branches and then may point to a page where there's more detail or show a video inside the chatbot of exactly what you're trying to say. And so you have to break all this down. And so the best way of doing that is if you go back to the first lesson when we talked about having an Excel doc or a Google Sheets doc and breaking out everything so you can see if they're asking about situation A, the first question is it C or D? And then, oh, it's C, and then this is the solution, or oh, it's D, and this is where we go with this. So you have to break all that down so that those more complex questions are branched accordingly. All of these intents are set up inside the assistant area, and then from that you can point them to other questions that are going to break out with branching, etc. Or they're going to point to a video or an image or a page that gives more information. So the most time-consuming piece of putting a support bot together is gathering all that information, of course. Once you've put all that together, then you have to pay close attention to your intents to make sure you don't have intent collisions and make sure your keywords and regex is written correctly so that they get the right response to their question and not the wrong response. A support fallback can then ask, if your question wasn't answered, do you want a phone call? Do you want to fill out this form and we'll reach out to you? What's the best time for us to call you? Do you want to connect to live chat right now? Um, if you have forms, that can be created as a ticket and go to your CRM, and then your support team can open up that ticket and email back or call or whatever. One common mistake is we see people putting live chat right on the first question of their bot, which supersedes using the bot, and everyone starts just doing live chat, and now you've just kind of wasted all your time, and support people aren't going to notice a difference as far as questions being answered. It also frustrates some of the users because people are doing this at odd hours, or the support person or people can't answer fast enough. The whole purpose of this is to get the customer to have an answer quickly to their problem. That's what the chatbot does. More complex support systems can allow you to put a ticket in. So let's say they asked the question to the bot couldn't answer it the way they wanted it to, or it's too complex to answer for a bot to answer. So then they fill out a form through the fallback. It created a ticket in the CRM. Another example is they went through the website's ticketing system and generate a ticket that way. Then they come back to the bot a day later and say, I haven't got a response yet. What's the story on my ticket? And they put the ticket number in. So more complex systems can then look up that ticket and then provide the status of the ticket. Another common use of support bots are error codes. If you have some software and it throws error codes when something doesn't work, then the user will come to the site, open up the chatbot, and say, I'm getting error code 36975. That's easy to put into the bot, and the bot can immediately respond with an answer of what the issue is and how to fix it, or it could point them to the information inside the data that you already have on your site, but quickly find it and, and, and provide that. Another common use of a support bot are error codes. So if you have some software or machinery that throws an error code, then they can come to the site, open up the bot, type in that error code, and the bot will then provide a solution to that particular problem, what they need to do to fix it, or point them to a form because that particular problem needs a recall of the product or what have you. So in general, support bots are quite easy to set up. It's more the amount of support data you have that needs to be entered in. Set up your intents correctly. Think about the flow of some of the more complex questions and where you want to point them into the system, or if they're going to generate a ticket or what have you. And of course, if you have any questions, please feel free to contact us at support@ametrics.com.